Hello and welcome to another Farming Simulator video. Although you've probably already noticed things have changed. It's now 16 by 9, gloriously so, because I had to get a new monitor as my old one was very much rapidly on the way out. It is early spring yet again. No, it wasn't the last time, it was early summer when you saw it last one. This is year 2, same season setup, everything. There's been a few changes, got a few more fields and such, and today we are going out spreading manure, slurry, whatever we're going to do. But first we're going to load up this wagon. We're going to use the Brexit loader just so we can do this properly. I'm also now using a wheel and joysticks and everything, so it's all a lot of fun here. Although the bucket I've got on is a bit high capacity, so it might topple over a little bit. I hope, however, everybody's doing well, that you're not dying. That would be unfortunate. Hope everybody in your immediate relations and such are all okay, and that you are staying at home doing your bit so we get this motherfucker of a thing sorted out. I have been doing my thing. I've been playing Farming Simulator a lot recently, really a lot, so I am doing my part. Hashtag stay at home, or whatever it is we're going with for this one. Not be the mentalists who go with the China virus hashtag that I saw, because fucking hell, that's just mental. I think we got it. Here, come on. I just need more shit, mate. That's what we need. Just need more shit. There we go. See, all we really needed to do was think about the president's Twitter account, and then we immediately get completely loaded. So much so that we're now slightly flipping over. I think it's just a bit of weird physics here. Got sorted out the lift, and then we will just quickly tip this into... how are we doing here? Yeah, we're doing quite well. So just tip you over. Get you as full as possible. Full as possible. Let's use actual words instead of the ones I make up. Seems to be a lot easier when you want to communicate to others. Just lower you down. Turn off the Brexit loader and into the deer. We will reverse, and then we need to try and head over to field number, I believe it's 20. Hang on, tree. We can also do this a bit differently. Go around the building. Let's be smart. I've got a brain. I might as well use it. That is what they tell me anyway. Don't really know if I am to believe them. So we will just nip down and around. Yeah, it's all a bit quiet. Hope you're all having a lovely Easter as well. Because it is technically Easter today. Certainly I'm recording this Easter Saturday, so yes, if it's no longer Easter Saturday, you know, yeah, well it probably isn't, because I can't really be bothered doing all the video stuff today. Probably indicate for me, please, thank you. Even though we are nipping just over here and around through my other yard to get to field number 24, pardon me, over to the one that looks suspiciously like Spa-Francorchamps. No idea if that's intentional or not, but it kind of has the outline of the glorious, or once glorious in my opinion. Now it's just a track, really. Nothing too special about it, in my personal opinion, but you know, your mileage may vary, so... who might it is, you may be Dutch, and in which case you go mental. Off we go, down and around. We've got my piggies in there, my good old little pigs, my bovine beasts. They're all getting themselves nice and fat so I can sell them for a good healthy profit. Because that's really what we all want, isn't it? A nice healthy profit from pigs. Yes, it is. So we're going up there, entrance is up there at the top end, and then we sort of just spread shit all over the place. And that's joyous for everybody. Unless you happen to live near a field where this happens, which I have done in the past, and it is schmelle. Tis a smelly business, but it is also the smell of money. Yes, indeed it is. And we like money. Oh yes, we do. I spent some today by going shopping because I needed milk, basically. Otherwise, it's pretty much about staying at home, usually going for like a walk in the day as well, because you kind of do need to get some exercise, and that's a pile of shit. A little pile of shit that we will be spreading at some point or another. But for now, we will be trying to sort this out, get ourselves in a position that we can... Oh, see, this is kind of annoying, as it's kind of all sorts of weird, but we will try and make this work. Let's see. Just clear my throat, because it's easier to talk when you have a clear throat. Let's also try and sort out you here. This is field number 24. If we just type in 24... No, see, I don't quite understand how this works. So, yeah, this might go a bit wrong, but let's see if we can do this now. 24. So we've got one called 24. Now I need to go outside of my tractor, which seems a bit weird, but that's how this works for me, because there we go. Now we've got an A placed down, so we can now go ahead. We moved it up. And we now set it off here and just run down. We do just a border here, then we have a row set up after, and then we'll just run based off of that. Yes, I think that's the best way of doing it. Just run it down here, spreading lovely bit of manure in the morning. Imagine living over there, waking up, and then just seeing shit being flung off the back of a tractor. I suppose, though, living here, you would be used to it. We can just pretend that it's one of my occasional employees. Right along here. This is lovely. See, this is nice. This isn't stressful. This is how we relax in the middle of a global pandemic, by driving a tractor in straight lines up and down a field. Set B, I feel like that's done correctly. I forgot to do width, which is 12 meters. Everybody's happy. Yeah, that's now bang to right. We'll just turn you around and see what row we can go with. At first, I think we'll try and fill out this one a bit more. In here. Activate you. Activate you. And now we're just cruising. Cruising, flinging shit everywhere. So yeah, in terms of things that's happened, really there isn't a lot to talk about, because the world has kind of stopped for now. Which is still weird. Still a very weird situation to be in. I hope we're all coping with being on our own a lot. I occasionally, very rarely, actually sit down and do a thing where I just talk to myself, in the imagination that at some point somebody else might actually be listening to this, so it doesn't feel quite as weird. But that's only what we're doing now. I did think about doing this as a stream, but I don't really know how well this would work as a stream. But maybe we'll find out. I do have GTA installed again, even though it's an absolute pain, and I would probably have done something in it if it wasn't for the fact that it's just... Why do they hate their customers so much? I will never understand that. Because they hate us. Like, it just crashes, and they could have just made it moddable, and then everybody would have been happy and they would have made lots of money anyway, but now they just have to be dicks. It does confuse me, because there's so many examples of games that are really good because they're moddable. This being an example, Armour, like so many other stuff, even bloody GTA. I mean, bloody hell, San Andreas still has a community due to SAMP. So, really they ought to think things through a bit, I reckon. But it's Take-Two, they're not going to, they're just idiots. At this point, really, there's hardly any chance of me getting GTA, whatever the next one is, because they're just dicks. Like, it feels very much like they're all stuck in, like, 10, 15 years ago. Like, in terms of their writing and everything, where, yeah, it's not the most progressive company, let's put it that way. They tend to not really give a shit. They tend to be as offensive as possible. They are the Jeremy Clarkson in the video game development, I suppose. Certainly there is... Oh, we are out of shit. So, we just need to bring over the Brexit loader and throw some more shit in the back of this vehicle. Nope. Let's just go out here and run up and jump into it, really. It's a bit easier, isn't it? Like, that's a lot of shit. That is like 300-something thousand tons of actual shit. Right there. Let's just lift you up and just tip you into the pile again, because I don't really need you. Don't really want to be driving about with shit on the front. No. I just said I don't want any shit on the front, so please unload me bucket. Thank you. I'll just twitch you, lower you down here so we can actually see where we're going. It's always nice to see where we're going. Although we need to be careful here on the bumpy roads. Let's just also just turn off all of that. Put on the roof rotating light so people can see that there's a sodding great wheel loader coming down towards them. Let's go a bit of a different way. Yep. Yeah, that's good. Just cruise control, please. Off we go. Yes, indeed. We've got 2 rear view mirrors at the top. 1 either side. We are good. Let's just try and stay in our lane, actually, for once. Earlier today, I tried to do some racing. I regretted that. I ran out of field on the last lap. It was a timed race. Literally just had fuel for 1 lap less than the race distance turned out to be. Which, yeah. I just sat there for like 10 seconds just... Yeah, that wasn't great. It was a good race too. I was doing really well. But anyway, there's the field that we were working on. There's the trusty old John Deere down at the end. With the Samson, whatever it's called on the back. I don't really remember. But it's lovely this, isn't it? Nice, relaxing. Not really stressful, just nice, chill, calming, just doing stuff because you want to do it, because you enjoy doing it. There's no depth, there's no meaning to this. It's just nice. And that's really important in these times. It's important to distract ourselves and do things that aren't just related to the massive global pandemic currently going on. And I feel that doing virtual farming kind of helps with that, so yay me. Especially with a wheel setup now, it's nice and good old joystick for the front loader works well. Although full seat bag would be nice, but you know, we can make it work. So just tip you. Is this going in or is this going over? Because it can be a bit tricky with depth of field in this, because you don't really have depth perception. I do realise saying depth of field means something else in video games. Whoopsies. Otherwise, I've been playing Kingdom Come Deliverance, which was free some time ago now when I was actually quite ill. But I've been enjoying that a lot. It's a really good game. I don't usually enjoy that kind of RPG, but that kind of is good and enjoyable, and yeah. I suppose it's an RPG for people that aren't into RPGs, because I've heard it described as a most RPG to ever RPG, and maybe that's why I like it. Certainly there's none of, you know, the weird stuff like, you know, witches that aren't, you know, like there's actual real witches in there, but not the kind of stuff you'd normally see in video games, or orcs or any of that stuff. It's just none of that, because that just immediately kills it for me. I just can't get into it when it's got all of that stuff, and that's why I'm doing this. Not playing Fallout. Got Fallout 4. It's a very good game, just not for me. Put in a lot of hours into it until I finally had to concede that this shit ain't for me. And that's okay too. We don't have to enjoy everything. We just kind of have to accept that things are the way they are. Just tip you. It's such a cool thing, these buckets, because you can just tip them like that. It's fantastic. It's a brilliant piece of engineering, that. And lower we down and just scoop up a bit more. Don't think we need any more than that, really. Though I do worry that we don't have enough here. So we might have to do another quick run with some extra backup poo at one point. Because we can't run out of poo, that's no good really, is it? I suppose we're pretty much close to full, so we'll just leave it here for now. Just reverse you out and get into... Yeah, that's pretty good, isn't it? Oh, it turned off its engine. That's lovely, isn't it? Oh, we need to select a direction of travel. That kind of makes sense, yes. Just climb over the spilled shit lying back there, and then we go back to spreading. just bring you around here. Oh, we need to turn you on as well. I guess that makes sense. That we need to have our shit spreader turned on before we spread shit, and also need to put on the cruise control. Now we can just relax, do whatever we want, have a lovely little party, think about life, maybe have an existential crisis, which is very hard to say apparently. So yes, hope you're all doing well, as I said at the start. I hope everybody's coping at least okay with being isolated or alone, or if you go to work, if you're one of those people who are now all of a sudden described as essential workers, you know, go you for being essential and important, while the rest of us sit at home, play video games and other things as well. Because yes, there is not a lot to do when you've been told to stay at home. I mean, I can go out, there's nothing stopping me. The law won't tell me to go home. But we kind of have to be sensible about it. It's not like elsewhere in the world where it's a bit more strict. Yeah, but let's not think about that. Let's focus on happy things in life. It's Easter. Hope you've had chocolate, unless you're lactose intolerant, in which case you're excused, or I suppose if you're vegan. But I strongly suspect I don't have many of those on the channel, which wouldn't surprise me, really, because, yeah, I'm not one. I like meat. Meat's delicious. Tastes really good. Sure, cows and pigs, they're really adorable. They are the lovely animals. They also happen to be delicious. Like, it's not my fault they taste so good as they do. Blame the animals. If they don't want to be eaten, they shouldn't taste good. But putting Jeremy Clarkson to a side again, and yeah, just cracking on here. It's a lovely, lovely morning. We had a lovely harvest last year, I think. Although I have no idea exactly how well it was, because it doesn't really give you any kind of stats in that respect. But yeah, this is spreading very quickly indeed. That's very good to see. Happy days. We have this field and another field over there, field number 23 it would be, that we need to do slurry on afterwards. So that's nice. Plenty of excrement being flown around here. Now we kind of get to the point where we need to load up again, and now we need to run it in different directions, so we will see if we can just turn it 90 degrees and run with it that way. And I feel this time we will be stopping elsewhere so we can scoop up the shit I spilled before. Because nobody loves spilled poo on the ground, do they? And into the loader we go. Forward selected, down. Oh yeah, we can actually see it there. See, I think that's why they've got like those grating on the front or top side, just to give me a chance to actually see a bit where we are with the bucket. I think it's a bucket. I don't think it's a shovel. Is it a shovel? I think they want this to be called a bucket, because the shovel, yeah, has like thingies that are kind of like a shovel. This is meant to carry a lot. This is meant to just dig. We have a bit more left on the ground out here. Let's cheat and use external views. Yeah, that's a problem here. I mean, look at the comically sized bucket on this thing, actually. Yeah, it's kind of why it's probably a bit funny at times. Into here we go. Lift you up. Turn you over. Racy, flippy. And droppy. And if you're into sports, indeed, yeah, there's not a lot to go for, really, is there? Because there isn't any, to be fair. So it's kind of difficult to enjoy something that's not there. But at least with Formula 1 and such, they've decided to put up old races on YouTube. If you're into motorsport, check that out. And also IMSA and IndyCar has loads of old races as well available on their YouTube channels for free. So if you're feeling a bit of withdrawals, you can indeed go over there. I even think the ACO in their different series has lots of stuff available too. SRO, all sorts of good stuff there. which is always nice. I've been watching a few of the old Grand Prix that's been uploaded, and it has been lovely. Although I just saw today that they put up the 2019 Italian Grand Prix, which is pointless. I remember that race. I don't need to see it much like the 2014 Bahrain Grand Prix. I also remember that taking place, so there's not really any point. Moreover, that was only good after that safety car sort of latest in the race, otherwise that was quite a dull race. Yeah, no, it was good because Rosberg and Hamilton got a bit tangled up or whatever it was that happened. I don't quite... They had an incident. I think they kind of just raced each other a bit too hard. That was the... Was that a year where they couldn't really keep off each other? Was that the same year they crashed at Circuit de Catalunya in the Spanish Grand Prix? Because you have to say it like that when it's Spanish. I think it might have been the same year where they crashed out on the first lap. That was funny. Oh, how I laughed. Oh, that was funny. I know somebody who's a massive Hamilton fan. They were not happy. Oh, it was funny, though. It was funny. Oh, well. Yeah, and plenty of old limbs and stuff, and all sorts of stuff. I'm not one of those esports kind of people. I just think, basically, if I can do it in my pants at home, why would I want to watch somebody else do it, really, you know? Like, I can race in games on my computer, in my underwear, therefore, I will just do that, rather than what somebody else would. I just can't take it serious. Bless them for doing it, I think it's great, but you're just playing video games. That is not a sport. I can't see how that is a sport. I mean, I know a lot of people think it is, and, you know, all the more power to them, I say. I, however, will keep to my real sports where people are doing it. Much how I don't really see any real chance of that staying after all of this is said and done, because, quite frankly, people will be driving real race cars, so what's the point? There's more point to that than football esports, because that's just some bloke playing FIFA, innit? Like the most unimaginative video game that nobody has ever touched in like a million years other than making it a bit prettier. It's just, yeah. Again, all the more power to people who enjoyed. I will just whinge and moan because I'm technically one of YouTube's old men about these things. Like yesterday I found my second grey hair. It is disappointing. I've got a big birthday coming up this year and now on 2 grey hairs, and I'm assuming there are a lot more because Jesus Christ, so much hair now. So much hair because I have a lot of hair and I couldn't get it cut before everything shut down. Yeah, so I'm getting to the stage where I could be confused with a hippie, and, well, frankly, that is not something I enjoy. But if the alternative is to get coronavirus, you know, I might just live with having a bit long hair. Seems like a better trade-off in the long run for me. So yeah, just be safe out there, stay at home, unless you're an essential worker, otherwise, you know, just crack on and do your bit. You're amazing people if you do. I certainly bought some chocolate earlier and I will eat it just out of respect for those essential workers, and because chocolate's just simply delicious. Because it is so good. So good. Again, unless you're lactose intolerant, of course, and it's Easter, so, you know, we have valid reasons to be eating chocolate, guys. Let's fucking exploit it. Like, I've just gotten to the point where I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm gonna eat whatever the fuck I eat. Because the world might be ending and we might all be dead in 2 months. So I'm not really going to care, and then I might quite disturbingly have to join a gym. I've said the J word there. But yes, that could indeed be happening. I'm terribly sorry for anybody who's in the same boat as me. But that may be a thing that we will have to do collectively to care for our health. Because I have a job where I am not necessarily physically active, but I move a lot. I walk about 7 miles a day on a normal work day, and I don't do that now. And I'm afraid to say that I think my chocolate intake has gone up because I'm at home, and when you're at home you're just bored and you get hungry, so you eat. That's just kind of how it goes. But yes, just try and look after yourself physically, mentally, and each other. Pick up that phone, call somebody, call your family, check in on people you know you may not have spoken to. There's no harm in just spending a little bit of time talking to each other in all of this. Because it is not an easy time for a lot of people. We don't know when it's all going to be over. They're saying that the world has changed forever. I doubt it. I would perhaps be more inclined to say that we will slowly be returning to normal once we start seeing a vaccine, and once that becomes kind of, once we start distributing that, certainly to those at-risk people. First, obviously they deserve to have it first, but after that, certainly I would expect us to kind of go back to normal. Because otherwise I feel like, certainly in terms of, let's just say, procreation, it's going to be a very limited number of subjects that will be engaging in that activity. Because, I would imagine, although I did read an article that we're going to be massively low on, shall we say, condoms. Let's use a more tactful description that I would normally use. Because apparently they've all been sent home. It's apparently just one factory in Malaysia who makes condoms. Who knew? Who knew it was just a bunch of blokes and women, or of other gender identities as well? Could be. I don't know. I'm certainly not there, so I can't really make a call on that. Now the question is, do I drive this back and load my... No, we're not going to do that. What we're going to do, we're going to get this. Fire up the old girl. The old Case Magnum. I couldn't see it because my wheel is in the way. But yes, if you have a wheel, certainly also a joystick, I would certainly recommend trying this out with the farming simulator if you are into the world of farming, which is a good thing to be, because it's nice, fun and enjoyable. And fun for the whole family if you want to play games with family members. Let's just go through here. Ooh, why you? Oh, we've had an incident. Let's just reposition it. This is the one we used before. Let's just jump. Oh my word, what's going on here? Okay, something's gone seriously wrong. There has been a major incident involving this here. So, turn you off. Here we go. Here's a Manitou, our front loader. Shift you forwards. We'll just drop this one off. Now, bugger it. Just turn you around. We need to pick up the bucket over here. Shovel bucket? The bucket shovel, let's call it that. Oh yeah, that's a V-grab. That's, I'm assuming, named in honour of President Trump. Because he thinks that's a handle on women, which, spoiler warning, it isn't. It is not okay to grab anybody by the pussy unless we're talking about a cat and you're picking up a cat in a safe and animal-friendly manner. Which, again, don't do that too much, because in my experience, cats don't like it if you pick them up. Cats love being petted, though. Certainly, certain cats do, so do try and pet cats, because cats are lovely. The sweet animals will love cats. I would have probably at least one cat if I was allowed to, but alas, I'm not allowed cats here, so we should just try and tip you in here. We don't need that much, I think. Probably just go for something like 30,000 litres. That should probably do the job. Although I am aware that is quite a bit more in this. But this bucket can take just below 3,000 litres. Yeah, just 2.5 a bit. So, yeah, indeed. Forwards. Lift the uppy. Also, dear Giants, if you happen to be watching, please, can we have like those monitors actually showing stuff that's real? Like my fuel capacity has absolutely nothing to do. My AppBlue has nothing to do with that down there. The gearing has nothing to do with it. The angle has nothing to do. I believe temperature and the clock and The speedometer at the bottom does, but the rest just kind of doesn't. Oh, and that too. So please just make it work properly. It's not that much effort, I imagine, and it just is nice. At least, oh, that's the opposite. I've inverted those controls. So whoops. I don't remember how I set it up, but I'll look into changing that later on. By the way, my setup is nowhere near as professional as it looks. It's just a dinner chair where I put the joystick on. Because yes, it's amateur hour really. Also, my new monitor is 32 inches and I sit 65 centimeters from it. It's huge. This is a proper field of view I've read for my monitor to make it look kind of proper, and it's big. Although I'm used, looking at big things. Hashtag penis joke. But yeah, it's a really nice monitor. It's an Asus something or other that was kind of on sale, and it's good. I'm liking it so far. It's really come a long way from my old Dell monitor, which was good, served me very well. Several thousand hours of use out of that one. Then it started developing some black spots down one side. Then it started developing burn-in, which it hasn't done before, even though it's been, yeah. So that was on its way out. I had to replace it now, rather than be forced into it at some point. Also, I realised after I bought it, of course, that all hardware is made in China. So, Christ on a bicycle, I would have been absolutely boned. Had I not done it now, I would have waited until it actually broke, because they've shut down production in China, haven't they? So, yeah. Anyway, at least they're opening back up in Wuhan, which I don't really know how you're supposed to pronounce. There's probably a lot of weird pronunciations going on. Also, places nobody's ever heard of before, like Wuhan and the Hubei province. I think they've probably just been minding their own business, not really, bothering with anything. Just casual hating of the West, as they do. And then they become the centre of a pandemic because the officials tried to shut it down. Yes. That doesn't make it a China virus, so let's be very clear. Nor does a 19 in COVID-19 mean it's a 19th version. It was first discovered in the year 2019, hence the name COVID-19. COVID, Corona, Virus 19. It was a coronavirus strand that was discovered in the year 2019. Don't listen to the conspiracy theorists in the White House, because they're just moronic idiots, or indeed any of their supporters and their so-called experts and scientists, because, well, quite frankly, I can tell you they are none of those things. Now that we've heard that the US has officially surpassed Italy in the number of deaths, I am aware that the number of people living in the US is significantly less. However, the US is also about a month, I think, behind Italy. So, yeah, like if you're American, I think a lot of my viewers are, oh, Jesus Christ, you're fucked. Just, I mean, it's hard to make your mind up because A, he's an idiot, but B, a lot of Americans didn't vote for him, so you can't kind of do that. Unlike Sweden, who has done absolutely fuck all about the virus, and now they're going, oh Jesus, apparently doing nothing means we die. Oh gee, who could have seen that coming? There's not a lot of sort of sympathy here for that, because they kind of laughed when we went in aggressively early on. So we kind of just go, yeah, sucks, done it now, who's laughing? Because they were literally laughing, going, stupid Danes, there's no need for any of that crap. We can sit here at this restaurant, eat, no problem. Yeah, we can have buffets, no problem. It's just, no. But now who's laughing? Country slowly starting to reopen after being shut down, whereas they are seeing death upon death upon death, and things are calming down here. Anyway, there's a lot of lovely podcasts out there that you can listen to. I would recommend looking into it. A few recommendations coming straight out of me. Richard Herring's Leicester Square Theatre podcast, as you have to say. He's very good. He talks to comedians and interesting people, or rather other interesting people. It's equal parts comedy, equal parts serious chat. It's lovely, it's stupid, it's just really good. He's an excellent interviewer. I think he is, without a shadow of a doubt, one of the best interviewers, because he has a really good way of making people open up, and just, yeah, he's a really good guy. He is also a really fucking good bloke. It just seems like such a genuinely lovely person that, you know, you want to kind of make him do well. There's Do the Right Thing as well as in terms of podcasts. A lovely comedy panel show in podcast form. Very well done. Independently produced. I think it's well worth a listen. And drop them a bit of money on their Patreon as well if you enjoy it. As well as My Dad Wrote a Porno. Absolutely excellent podcast. Hilariously funny. I listened to that one when I had a driving job, and suffice to say there was a couple of times where I was very happy I was pulling in for a break when I was listening, because I was laughing so much I could barely see out of my eye holes. And something else that's perhaps more relevant these days is Insane in the Membrane, which is a podcast about mental health, specifically mostly men's mental health, which is good. Because it's one thing we need more focus on in the world. It's good, just kind of, might not give you any insight into your own mental health, but you're certainly able to get some interesting stories and see how it is for other people. And if you understand how other people see the world and the things they've been through, you understand the world better, and what motivates people and what reasons might lie behind their actions and such. And yeah, it's a good listen to. It can be rough. There's serious subjects including suicide, sexual assaults and such in it, but it is it's good for the brain. Also, Inside the Comedian, which is just stupid. It's kind of like Rahulastapa, but completely made up. They're just being asked to talk about their past based on fictitious stuff. I think the best one, in fairness, is the first one with Miles Jupp, because he works very well for that. Then Mark Steele works well too. I don't know if Paul Merton's done one, but I would imagine he would be good on it too. But yeah, it's very good, certainly. Those are certainly my choice in podcasts, which is all British. But again, my sense of humour is quite British, so indeed that would explain that, I suppose. Otherwise, I think we have enough shit in the back of this thing right now anyway. We might want to keep the tipper trailer up there just in case we run out of... or we have too much. Oh yeah, we are loaded up proper here. This girl's gonna struggle. Come on. Come on, you're a Magnum. They always taste delicious. I had one yesterday. Go on. Come on. You can do this, oh girl, I believe in you. Yes, give me some revs. Give me some revs. We're shifting now, we're moving 15 kilometers an hour, yes. Just blow that horn in triumph for it, because we're doing good, we're moving forwards. Oh, this is good. Nearly 40,000 litres of actual shite. Now let's go this way, let's cut through the old yard. We're not making that turn here, so we're going to have to go down a bit further. Come on, you old girl. Are you loaded right now? Oh, you loaded. Proper big load on this bad boy now. You can do it though, I believe in you. Trusty old Magnum. Says so right there on the dashboard. Because it's a Magnum, that's manly, even though it doesn't fucking matter, because fuck it. If you're a woman and you like the word Magnum, you fucking call it a Magnum too. Or any other gender, because yeah, like it's confusing now, because I try and not say, you know, ladies and gentlemen at the start of videos. I try and be a bit more sort of open about those things, because there are a lot of people out there that don't think, you know, oh, I don't know if I'm a man or a woman, or if I'm either one of those things, or maybe I'm something else. And you know, that's okay too. Because at the end of the day, you're still human, and that's what matters. You know, it's all okay. It's gonna be okay. If you're trans, if you're non-binary, whatever, you fucking do what makes you happy. And I wish other people saw it that way too, because it's ridiculous. I've never understood why somebody else's decisions affect my life. Like, it doesn't matter if somebody is trans, it doesn't change my life, you know? I can still find a woman and have sex with that if the woman wants to. You know? You can still do that. Gay marriage doesn't mean that. Straight marriage all of a sudden has been abolished and everybody now has to marry somebody of their own gender. I think we just went forward a bit more there because my brake's set up wrong. So we just discreetly move out of that. It's just ridiculous, just people afraid of things they don't really understand. Just fuck off. Be nice to each other. Let people be happy and be what they want to be. And not force their own views on others. The world would be a better place in that way. But the good girl here, the Magnum, doing well. Pulling down the road, we'll just nip over here so we get just sort of a smooth turn in. Oh, come on, yo girl. Oh, now you're going to struggle because you're now in the field. But you can do this, I believe in you. This might be where we dump it. Unless we can get it to move, which we can. A little bit. Come on. Come on. I mean, we're moving. We are moving. Not a lot. But that movement is happening. So if we just turn you around here, maybe reversing is a bit easier. Have we, let's just see here. Yeah, that's fine. We can dump it here. So just dump all of the poo. Or maybe we'll start with here. Just start with that first, and then we'll drop more if we need it. Because I'll just have to load it, and there's no point doing, you know, offload in order to load again. So we'll just leave you sitting. Oh yeah, you are heavily loaded, Christ. So you now being fired up again here. Now we just kind of load the stuff we dropped off. I mean, I could technically have unloaded into the bucket, but I didn't really think that through. Doesn't really matter anyway, given how mahoosive this bucket is anyway. 8,000 fucking litres, it's massive. It's the kind of bucket. I don't know buckets. No, I can't really do. No, I thought I had a joke, I didn't. So we just dump you in. Good shit, literally. It's a Samsung SP17, of course, we have right here. It's a lovely machine. Lovely machine. Danish, I do believe. Hence why I'm using it. Hence why I'm using, I believe it's Spreadal we've got into. The fertilizer spreader manufacturer. Because, yeah, you've got to support your local businesses even in video games. Even though technically I'm not sure any of these are local to me. They're certainly made in my country, which is nice. And the John Deere is technically, I believe, for Europe, German. I believe they've got a massive factory in Cologne. Which is, yeah, probably a good sign, because probably means they're made well. And I've got that one, the case, Magnum, otherwise it's all class. And, John Deere, for me. Did initially start out with it being all class, but I just kind of got to have that John Deere in there too, because they're really nice, they're really lovely models all. So it's a balancing act. Let's just leave you here and get onto the spreading once more. Fire up the John Deere, the U6195R. A good girl, this, a good girl. She does well. So down here we'll just quickly see if we can't wrap up this field. Let's just do you. do you here and wait for the trailer to appear onto the covered section, which is here. Lovely stuff. Oh yeah, we might have too much poo down, but we'll see. We will indeed see. Just driving along, waiting to spread the shit. Well, not waiting, we are literally spreading shit right now. So that is lovely for everybody involved, unless you happen to not like animal shit being flung everywhere. And it is literally being flung everywhere. Look at that, just out of the back. That always looks like a horrible way to die. Like it looked like something the IRA would have done in the day, or a mafia would just throw people in there and just grind them to death and spread them over a field, and then somebody would buy potatoes with a human brain in it. Yes, indeed. That is perfectly done. Right, hit and you just turn this around. Although technically we've already used like 41% of the manure we had loaded up, so we might actually need another load in order to wrap this all up, which would probably mean we've got it nailed bang on. I mean, we can have a bit of excess, and that's fine too. We don't have to cover the entire field in it. Then the next step for this field will be to cultivate some manure, liquid manure into it, which is good. Nice fertilised ground ready for seeding. That is what we want, because we have, as you saw, a lot of poo. Animals, apparently, they shit a lot, and so why not use it for something good rather than have it lying about smelling in the back garden? We can spread it over a field and have lovely crops growing out of it, because that is good. Also, my pop filter's dropping down, which is not a euphemism. I do suppose having just 900 degrees of rotation here is a bit wrong, much like in the trucking simulators, which is getting F-mod, which is a sound engine, not any kind of modding tool. But it should improve the sounds in there. Maybe we'll do something there when time comes. They certainly did try to do their thing to keep people at home with a lovely event, which I did complete, and I hope you did too if you have the game, because it's bloody lovely. Both of them are good, although I think I only did it in American Truck Simulator, because at the moment that's what I feel most like playing. It is absolutely gorgeous now with the move to DirectX 11. Anyway, let's not talk about that, let's talk about something completely different, because we're playing Farming Simulator at the moment. I think, was this all, or do we have, oh, we have a little bit left. I'm not sure we have enough here, but line you up, run you down, spread a bit of poo, then have a party. You know, it might just be that. Let's see if we can just top up this section over here, and then we can call it a day, because this is frighteningly close to being all good, because this is now going to be, oh, whoops, drove through a hedge. Although it wasn't in an old Fiesta, so probably didn't take too much damage. It's a bloody great tractor, you know. So we will return this, and then we will just tidy up the stuff that we did. Then we will set off for some slurry spreading, which we will be needing a much bigger tractor for. I mean, okay, we do have a bit of a spot left over here, but it's fine. We don't have to be perfect. Let's just go around. Ooh. I think the Brexit loader is positioned rather unfortunate. But I think I can make it work. Come on, turn. There we go. Ooh. Ooh. Oh. I'm too sexy for my shirt. Too sexy for me, lion. Oh yes, Japan. I think at least that's most of the lyric for that song. And I do have realised that the frame rate has tanked since I started recording, which just, I suppose, makes sense. But we'll just turn you in here, and yes, I think I've prepared my other John Deere, which is a big boy. I mean, not the big boy, but the big boy. It's the 7R, I think, with 305 horsepower. Which, for me in Farming Simulator, is a lot. Before I've only really delved up into the high 200s. We've actually knocked through the roof of 300, straight on to 305. Although we should probably just put this one here in for a wash first. Well, wrong button. Just stop you here, turn off this. Do we have rotating beacons on? No, we don't. So good stuff. Yes, here it is with a Samsung watt attached. A Samsung Piggy Talk 2. Yep, off we go. We can certainly keep that one on standby nearby. And this, look at the overhang on this motherfucker. I mean, look at that. That is the kind of rear end that Sir Mix-a-Lot has written songs about in the past, because this baby has got back. Jesus Christ. It's massive. You really have to keep that in mind when you turn it. I think it's easier on a wheel to cope with. Hang on. Oh, I just need to sit up a bit here. I think it's easier on a steering wheel to kind of compensate for that, but you really have to be mindful of the massive fuck-off overhang you have on the back. Because if you look, like here for example, try and just look how wide that is. Okay, it wasn't so bad here, but in a moment when we do a sharp turn to the right, you will notice it. Let's just put on our lights just for road safety. But you really have to keep that in mind. That's like a good 2 meters, I think, that's sticking out the back. Certainly 1.5. But here we go, we're going to be turning right here. Let's just make sure, yep, clear. Yeah, you'll have to wait, but just look at this. Look now here when we turn. Just look at how wide that thing goes. It's quite frankly a bit terrifying. It can be tricky in the fields because with that overhang and the width on the cultivator on there, it can be tricky, but we'll make it work. So yeah, this has the weird thing over here where all of the information is there instead of down on the wheel, which is odd, but whatever, eh? Well, it does actually show a proper thing down there. That's cool. So we'll just reduce. It's got lots of speed readouts. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. You're just, mate. Do you really want to sound the horn at somebody carrying a load of shit? I feel like you're being quite brave doing that, because I could make your day quite miserable. Like those French farmers, whenever they protest, they just drive up one of these or one of those manure spreaders and just fling it at some city hall somewhere. Guess they're unhappy about being French, I imagine. That's all they really do, it seems. But yeah. That is... I've been going for a while, so yes. Let's bring this up to the field. We'll just have done preparations so I can continue at some point with this. Once that field has been tidied up, we will go ahead and we will cut you guys loose. Because this has been nearly an hour now. That's a long time. That's a long time to watch somebody throw shit off the back of a tractor. So, hot. And I forgot. I mean, look at that beast. It's massive. Massive, I tell ya. This is full. I mean, there's plenty of room in it, but it might be smarter here if I just load up the trailer first. Turn you around. No, whoops, still in reverse. It's been forward motion. Just lift you up here. It is kind of dangling with the rear end, but it is alright. There we go. There is not a lot left here. Just finish off this, lower you down, I think. This is the issue I struggle with because it's kind of difficult to see the angle of the whole thing. Because you don't have the right sense of depth going on. But, yep, there you go. I believe that's all. Let's just turn around here and make sure. Yep, that's all the excess shit, which is different than the shit we spread, certainly. Let's try and drop this one off slightly further up on the trailer. So yes, thank you very much for watching some Farming Simulator. Hope you've enjoyed it. Hope you're all being safe out there. Thank you very much for watching. Try and enjoy this as much as you can. Goodbye everyone. Be safe. Look after one another. Goodbye.